Welcome back everyone, I'm K Plays Games and this is either episode 32 or season 2 episode 2 of EVE Online. Either way, we're back. It's the next day, we trained some more skills overnight. I think it was, planetology and remote sensing. And since we started our planets, we also did another skill level of command center upgrades. So in a minute, we'll undock. In fact, right now, we'll undock and see what happened over the course of our 14-hour cycles that we installed last night. I'm just going to keep the Epithal here in Martia because it is a very slow ship, so I'll just make the trip between Pasha and Marthia in the Crucifier, if you saw that in dock. Okay, so right click on the planet, warp to the customs office.
Warp drive active.
Just double click on this. Wow, look at that, the cargo is absolutely full. The cycle's got 1.5 minutes remaining and it's going to dump another 2,000 units into this. These are all waiting for 3,000 units-ish. This one's waiting for a little bit less. But I think we logged in at just the right time because this is absolutely full. So let's launch that, make some room. There we are. And as soon as we arrive here, we'll just warp off and get this. Right click, warp to location, there we go.
Warp drive active.
And then we'll check this planet. This is our production planet. This will not have a problem with its cargo space, indeed not. Oh, we made an entire 10 enriched uranium, wow. That's how it goes with low skills, you don't make anything. And our little barren planet, he's just doing his thing on his own. He tries, he does try. Okay, just loot that. See, the problem is it's gone straight into the normal cargo hold and we want it to go into this hold. Okay, where next? The other launches, obviously. This one, warp to location.
Warp drive active.
I did change the UI theme just to the normal black we had when alpha, because that's what I was used to. The yellow edges and everything was quite jarring visually. But when you're Omega, feel free to play around with all the colours. You can even match the theme to your active ship. Just means if you're in a Minmatar ship, it'll automatically give you one of these, and a Mar one of these. So that's pretty cool. And then we'll take all this to the customs office and import it.
Active.
It's less than $1 million-esque for 14 hours work. Well, we didn't do 14 hours of work. We did about 10 minutes of work. Just quickly take you through the Epithal Fit. 15,000 EHP, which is the usual on a transport ship, just to avoid being one-shotted by a tornado. A large and a medium shield extender. EM and thermal shields, because they were the two weakest, just to bump them up a bit. Damage control, just to increase all resists across the board. And 3 power diagnostic systems. Now, this wasn't for the power, this is because power diagnostic systems actually give you an extra 4.5% on your shield hit points. So that's why I did that. See, we didn't actually... Well, we needed one of them to be able to fit the 2 shield extenders. That's just a better way of doing it. And then an EM shield reinforcer, because the EM was really weak. As you can see, it was 8%, and that all comes from the damage control. And then 2 shield extenders. Not that this ship's going to be doing much travelling, it's pretty much just going to be moving around inside Martia. Okay, there we go, that's all the stuff dragged in. And that's all our exports. So 640,000 for 14 hours of work. That is actually our result. Right, let's see how the cycles are doing. Hooray! It's program not active, that's just exactly what we want. Let's have a look at the heavy metals. Has the heat map changed? Not noticeably. That's kinda good for us. Looks like it's gonna come over here. First things first, upgrade this. Yes, thank you, give me more CPU. And now, hopefully, we'll be able to get a launch pad. Just stick it right as close as we can. So we'll stick it down here. Yes. See the difference each and every skill level of that skill makes? It gives you so much more power in CPU. It's absolutely phenomenal. Let me submit that. Okay, I think now we'll actually go for a full 24-hour cycle. Yeah. Oh, not quite. Almost maxed out that extractor. Right, let's just get these in a nice pretty pattern as close as they can be and still within the same heat spot. Each factory will handle 144,000 in 24 hours. I know that from a great deal of experience. See the peaks and troughs, it's going to be given lots here and hardly anything at the end. So again, we'll be routing everything through the launch pad now. So that's just about right. 144 times 3. Yeah, it's just about need that fourth factory, so that's good. That's really good, actually. I like that a lot. Well, let's change the route. Delete the route, and then put the route back in here. Because that peak looks possibly larger than this can handle, we know that this has got 10,000 as opposed to this is 5,000, or 500 I should say. So that's what we're going to be doing. And again, we're going to change these routes. Delete that route and create it and send it into the launch pad. Delete the outgoing route, reinstall it in the launch pad. This transisting is stuff that's passing through here to get to the factories beyond it, so you have to make sure you delete the right one. Delete the outgoing route, go to routes, click the product, create route, launchpad, and the last one. And then obviously we have to tell the raw materials to go from the launchpad to the factories. Click on routes, click the heavy metals incoming, click create route, click here, done. You can zip through this. It's still lots of clicking, but you can zip through it fairly quick. So I don't think we need, well, the routes don't actually cost you anything, so we'll just leave it as it is. So now everything's just going through the command center, and nothing's actually being stored in there anymore. Apart from this. Expedite. Okay. And submit. What we'll do, we'll click on this, expedite the transfer, and just manually push it in here. Here we are. Right, that's that one set up for the day. We are going to have a lag because we know that this planet is pretty productive and this one isn't. We can just sell the excess, or we can store the excess in the customs office and hope that this one eventually catches up, because that will happen from time to time. A very productive planet will suddenly dry up, and a terrible planet will suddenly get lots of stuff. Speaking of stuff, we should check the heat map of the noble metals. See, this one looks larger, but I'm not going to move. I'll just stay here and farm this one till it's gone. Yep, I hope we need a launch pad, but launch pads are always good to have anyway. Yeah, now this one is maxed out. We might actually need 2 extractor heads on this. I'm not sure if we've got enough power load left for that, but we'll soon see. Right, let's quickly just get all these in. Bit too close there. And there's another one up here. Yeah, here it is. Clicky drag into place. 314, so that's just over 2 of these. Ugh. Let's whack a third one in. Yeah, we haven't got enough power to make another one of these just quite yet. Yeah, we had to change the route for that, didn't we? Delete the route. Route it to the launch pad. This one is going to the launch pad. This one's not. Delete the route. Create route launch pad. This one. Delete that route. Create route launch pad. And then the launch pad should have, yep, 3 incomings from the factories and 1 incoming from that. That's good. Incoming, create route there. Incoming, create route there. This doesn't have anything in storage, so you can actually just delete these outgoing routes. Right. That's all that restarted, and I suppose we better do the temperate planet as well. Now, how many of these are we going to need? Because it handles 40 units of each in an hour, so we're away for 24 hours. Times 24, so it could handle 960. We've got 800 of that, so again, today we only need this one to be able to handle all the stuff we've thrown in it. Tomorrow we'll probably have to get rid of this little auxiliary mining operation and install a whole load more of these. Until then, we'll just bash on with this. See, the heat map has changed a bit. Whether or not that was because we trained up the planet scanning skill and it's made it more accurate, or whether it has actually depleted here and moved over here a little bit, I do not know. But it has moved. One day. Yes, stick them right on top of it. And 344. Yeah, it's just about 3 factories. Right, start that. And this was all being routed through a launch pad anyway, so we don't have to change any of that. And that's PI dump for the day. See how quick that is? It's quicker than it used to be. It used to be, believe it or not,
drive active.
an even worse clickfest than it already is. The only major travelling the Ep32 will be doing is probably up to Amar to sell the stuff. I mean, it's only 3 jumps away. One thing I won't do is actually fill it with 49,500 cubic meters of enriched uranium, because that's just asking to be destroyed, because that actually will be worth something.
Docking permission requested. Docking request accepted.
Most of the values actually come from the bacteria, from the planet mining. Okay, now we're gonna go back to Pasha and talk about battleships. Hooray! Explosions and things. And I did promise you we'd get a battleship and run some level 4 missions, and here we are, in a battleship, in a station with a level 4 security agent. And I also promised I'd take you through the fit. So, first of all, let's control F9, have a look at this thing. This is the Armageddon. And the Armageddon has traits for drones and energy neutralization, which is a PvP thing. Energy neutralizers don't work at all on NPC, so the only trait we'll be making use of is the drone trait. The other two Amar battleships are primarily laser platforms, but this actually has some hardpoints for missiles. We've never used a missile ship before. I had been promising to use an arbitrator for 57 days and never did, because we went straight to Stratios. Whoops. So at least we'll get to use missiles with this thing. Now it has 5 missile hardpoints and 5 turret hardpoints, so you could make this into a laser bolt if you wish. But our support skills are still pretty poor, because as you know, we remapped our character for perception and willpower, primarily to do spaceship command, gunnery and missiles only. And we've done lots of ships, we've done a whole ton of gunnery and a whole ton of missiles. This means that we have ignored engineering, armor, shields, electronic systems, pretty much everything. So our support skills are really poor, which means that our capacitor, CPU, power grid, damage application, everything's really, really crap, because we've just been relying on the pure power of the spaceship command traits and the gunnery skills to see us through. We get away with that in the Stratios because it's a forgiving ship in high security space. But level 4 missions are pretty much designed to test battleships to their max, so we might find this hard going. So we'll go through the fit. 5 cruise missiles in the high slots. Why have I chosen missiles? A, because our capacitor is terrible for using lasers, and B, because missiles do different damage types. So we can do purely EM damage with Mjolnir, or purely kinetic with Scourge, or purely explosive with Nova. We could do purely thermal, but thermal isn't really that useful against most NPCs. Most of them is either EM, which will be Blood Raiders and Sancha and drones, or kinetic, which is Serpentis and Garista, or Nova for killing angels. Thermal's really not optimal for killing NPCs. There are some of the more expensive battleships will have quite high thermal resistances, but they're few and far between, so we'll just stick with these 3. Mid slots, large micro jump drive. Now this thing is great. It spools up when you activate it. It spools up for 11.4 seconds. And then it slings you 100 kilometers straight ahead and maintains your previous speed. So this is really good for long range sniping ships. You warp into the mission, you click that, you wait a few seconds, and then you're suddenly 100 kilometers further away from the enemy than you were, which means you can outrange them and start applying damage. Or you can just warp out if you think it's going to be too tough for you. It does have a 180 second, which is 3 minute cooldown, so you can only do it once every 3 minutes, and it is the only propulsion module on the ship, because it only has 4 mid slots. So we don't have an afterburner, so the maximum speed of the ship is 120 meters a second, which is absolutely pathetic. But then, the way I fitted it is to be a sniper. Which is why the cruise missiles, if you see, the maximum flight range is 103 kilometers, which is pretty good. And we have, as always, a large compact cap battery and a cap recharger just to help the cap. I mean, it's barely stable, have an enduring armour repairer. See, the tank is pretty weak because our skills are pretty low, so we could only get one hardener and one passive armour coating. This is EM and Therm, so we know that if against Sancha and Blood Raider and drones, we're not too bad. 60, 61 and 63 armour resist. It's not. Remember, we'll be over 100 kilometres away from the bad guys, so hopefully that should be enough to keep us alive. We have 2 compact ballistic control systems to boost the damage of our missiles, and 1 for the drones. It's got a huge drone bay, 375. I've only put 200 worth in it. 1 full set of lights for killing frigates and destroyers. 1 set of medium hammerheads, just for killing cruisers basically. And then 5 ogres, which are heavy drones. And this actually has 125 megabits, so this can actually use 5. You know that the Stratios has only got 100, it can only use 4. This thing can use 5. The thing to remember is that this is a sniping ship. So we're going to go 100 kilometers away, and these things are really slow, so it will take them forever to approach the enemy and start applying damage, which is kind of why I wanted the hammerheads. They do half the damage of the heavies, but they're much faster. And if you remember, everything likes to shoot at heavy drones, so if you send them 100 kilometers away from your ship and they start taking damage and you call them back, they're so slow that they'll probably still get killed by the time they get back to the ship. The plan for this ship is eventually to train up for sentry drones. And sentry drones are essentially static mobile gun turrets that you can deploy. So the plan there would be use a micro jump drive, come to a halt, deploy 5 sentry drones, and then with a mixture of long range cruise missiles and long range sentry drones, just plink away at the enemy and apply all our damage to them. Now, the problem with sentry drones, or one of the problems with sentry drones, is that they have really terrible tracking up close, so you want to use them at their longest range, but they don't all work at the same range. The Galenti Guards and the Imperial Navy Curators aren't as long range as Wardens and Bouncers. I mean, Wardens and Bouncers, which are kinetic and explosive, shoot way further than Guards and Curators. So that's what this module's here for. The omnidirectional tracking link, which improves drone tracking, which is alright for us if we're using medium and light. It helps them apply their damage, but it really comes into its own using the optimal range script and sentry drones. I'll just throw in 1 of each and we'll compare them. See the Warden with that script, range within 129 kilometers, optimal range within 77, extremely long range. The Bouncer, 133, which is actually a little bit longer in total, but the optimal range isn't as good. And the Guards, only within 60. So if we jump 100 and then we'll be well out of their range, which isn't the best. Let's have a look at the Curator. Yeah, range within 69, and that's with this module running. So they're not the best. Well, they are the best. They're fantastic things. But obviously, most of the time you'll be using Wardens or Bouncers simply because of the range, and just deal with only doing kinetic or explosive. Once our skills get higher, we could potentially put a second one of these up here, get rid of this cap recharger, or get rid of the coprocessor and put a passive version of this down here just to increase them a little bit more. But at the minute, we're just going to have to jump 100, use our missiles for most of our damage, and probably concentrate on sending our light drones out to wipe out all the frigates, and then bring them back, and then put out the hammerheads and slowly chip away. So the first few level 4 missions we run are not going to be quick, like at all. I have in the ship a ship bits can, which is full of slightly different things, and that will convert it to this, which is using rapid heavy missiles, which increases the damage all the way up to 626, but the range is only 44 kilometers, which is pretty terrible. So that makes us into more of a brawler, which is why the tank is much better. 2 proper hardeners and a passive membrane. So it's 75 and 67. It's camp stable with a micro warp drive off. Now, I chose the micro warp drive because even with a micro warp drive, it's still only doing just under 800 meters a second. If we put an enduring afterburner on, it's only doing like 286, and that's really slow, and it's not even cap stable with it. So if we're not going to be cap stable, I thought, well, we might as well do it properly and get some real speed. So the plan, if we need to refit the ship because we can't kill things in a mission, we'll use a combination of ogres and shorter range missiles, and use the micro warp drive to burn into range, kill a couple of things and burn out of range again. Hope that the tank survives. Because at the minute, our offense is only 561. It's still pretty good, but it's not great. I mean, the missiles are only doing 242, which is pretty pathetic, considering most of the time we won't be doing full damage because we won't be having the ogres in space. It will just be the hobgobs or the hammerheads. So our damage is only going to be like 400, which is probably less than Stratios, but the tank's much better and the range is much superior. Now, if it was going to make a proper rapid heavy fit, I wouldn't be using all this stuff. I'd change the rigs, but obviously I don't want to be destroying rigs because they're lost when you unfit them, so I'll just have to work around this and hope that our skill increases, buffs this even further. Drone control range 105 thanks to 2 drone control range rigs and 2 drone link augmenter ones. And I've got an even better salvaging ship. This is a Noctis. This is the best salvaging ship in the game. It's absolutely amazing. Okay, 5 tractor beams, 3 salvagers, 3 salvage tackles, micro warp drive, targeting speed enhancer, and 2 expanded cargo holds. The traits in the Noctis, huge bonus to tractor beam range and velocity, and 5% reduction in salvager duration. So it's an awesome salvager. We've got skill level 2, I think I just completed. Yeah, or industrial 2, that's the skill for that. So with level 2, our tractor beams are going 44 kilometers each and pulling at 1100. If you remember, normal tractor beams go out to 20 kilometers and pull at 500, so this is more than twice as good as the destroyer. And our salvagers have got 45% chance of successfully salvaging a wreck each cycle. So this is how we're going to do it. We're going to run a mission, drop a bookmark in each room, come back, hand the mission in, grab this, go out and salvage them. On the subject of completing missions, let's talk to our agent. Okay, cargo delivery against Serpentis. You always have to check who it's against, because we've done cargo delivery level 3 and it was against Blood Raiders, and this is against Serpentis, so this is kinetic. Okay, we're only getting 863 loyalty points and about 500,000 worth of ISK. It's not fantastic, but we'll do it. Now the problem with this mission, if you remember it at all from level 3, is that we have to approach a station and then open it and retrieve the cargo, and then the enemies spawn almost right on top of us. So it's not really conducive to using a micro warp drive and long range missiles. So I've refitted the ship to the rapid heavy style of fit. So we can move for this, and then we're in range of all the bad guys straight away. We don't need the 2 drone link augmenters because we're going to be right up close. I mean, 65 is fine because our missiles only go 44 anyway. But it's good because it means we can get kinetic and thermal hardeners and the energized membrane. So let's see what we can do. Well, this is unexpected. I've never seen it with Bad guys already spawned in it, but we'll do it. We'll take it. Better turn the tank on. And fire some missiles. You notice the missiles actually have to travel to the target before dealing damage to it. This is how missiles work. So we will have to learn how many volleys it takes to kill each target. Because as you'll see, there could be, or there will be, see we've just fired another volley and it's already dead. Whoops. Let's burn away from these guys. So you will have to learn how many missiles it takes to kill each thing and stop firing. Because these are rapid heavy missiles. And these have a 35-second reload time. Which isn't very good at all. But they're really good at dealing damage and applying damage because they are only heavy missiles instead of cruise. We're probably far enough away from the battleships now, I think. Either this mission has changed, that I'm badly out of practice, but I always remember it being exactly the same as the level 3. The bad guys don't spawn until you reach the warehouse. Are we still in range? Yes, just. Problem is, this might not be enough to kill him. This is an elite cruiser with really high resists, but the fact that we're killing them fairly easily is a good sign. Okay, and now we just sit and wait for 35 seconds for our missiles to reload. This is the drawback of using rapid heavies. If it was cruise or torpedoes, it'd be the usual 10-second reload, but then they wouldn't be quite as good at dealing damage to smaller targets. Well, that wasn't too terrible. In fact, we're almost out of range, so I think we'll just stop. No, we won't stop. We want to keep moving. We'll go up. So your drones are basically not able to break his tank on their own. Right, I think we're back in range. I don't want to tempt fate, but at least they haven't sensor dampened us yet. And our tank's absolutely fine. What is our tank? 67 and 62. Pretty good. Yep. They deal mainly thermal, so that's the right way around. This is a named guy. He's not elite by any means, but he is worth 1.162 million, which is nice. See, all the other battleships are like 500,000, 487,000. Yeah, most of the money in level 4 missions comes from the bounty you get, and sometimes from the loot, and over time the loyalty points. The agent pay is just not important at all at this stage. Target priority in level 4 missions, I like to kill battle cruisers first. Oh, and obviously any elite frigates, because the elite frigates will
has run out of charges.
Elite frigates will warp jam you and stop you escaping if you need to. They're very rare in level 3, but very prevalent in level 4. So they're always the first things you kill. Obviously our light drones can do that unless you switch aggression to them. Cruise missiles will barely tickle elite frigates because they're very small and cruise missiles are very large. They don't apply very well to small targets. So it's usually battle cruisers first, and then cruisers, whilst my drones fly around and take care of frigates and destroyers, and then I usually leave battleships for the last. So as long as you're moving You can basically tank battleships. They're pretty dumb. See, I mean, most of the time they're missing us, which is great. Okay, let's just head up this way. Because it's only battleships left, I think we'll break out the ogres. And might as well do a reload. A lot of people keep saying fire thermal at Serpentis, but that's incorrect. It's kinetic. 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 I don't know where this myth about Serpentis being weak to thermal came from, but it's wrong. Right. Let's see what the big boys do. Just watch how slow these drones are. I mean, it doesn't look like it, but they are actually moving. But they do look cool. This is the problem with being a short range fit. You have to actually come within range of the bad guys, which damages your tank a little bit more. And 10,753 armor sounds a lot, but it's really not. Level 4 missiles will chew through it in no time. We're cap stable with this off, so that's good. So we know that if we go down to 50% armor, we'll need to move just to put them back to missing us and take some pressure off the rep. We're not able to kill things quite fast enough. Okay, nothing else spawned, that's good. Because that's always a worry in level 4. There's like hidden triggers all over the place. Sometimes when you kill one bad guy, it spawns a whole load of others. I still think that's going to happen when we get to the warehouse. Okay, let's just do one little burst of speed. Just to get them back to missing us again. Right, maybe another second one. Yeah, this isn't good. But I'm gonna bring the drones back. This is another issue you have with heavy drones. It takes them forever to come back to the ship. I don't really want to warp out because then the bad guys might change aggression. Right, let's just warp out and then come back.
Warp drive active.
Battleships are slow and stupid. There's no citadels in this station, so no upwells to fix ourselves for free, so we just have to do it ourselves. I think we chose the exact right point to get out of there. I didn't shoot any missiles at it because I knew we were going to have to warp out and he'll probably just repair all his damaged armor again, so it would have been a complete waste. Ow. My new ship all dinged up. That's good, we killed all the elite cruisers and at least one battleship. So we can do it. Okay, let's have another crack at these guys. Whether or not we would have been better off staying with the cruise missiles, because we know that they weren't really hitting us until we close range to get into our own weapon range. Speaking of range, we're going to have to burn away as soon as we can. Yeah, maybe it would have been better to use cruise missiles and hit them from afar. Let's try the hammerheads so they're quicker to come back in case we need to escape again. I don't know why I pointed this way. There's nothing to escape to this way. Right, let's go this way. It's okay, it's only the shield warning. Don't really care about shield, it's just a layer of buffer on a Mars ship. Generally, with low skills, I do prefer to fight level 4 missions at long range. And then switch to a shorter range fit once our skills improve. As always, it's a learning process. They're all pretty much always hitting us now. The tank's holding though, because there's only 3 of them left now. The ship traits are 10% bonus to drone hit points and damage, so it is a proper drone ship. And then, as I said, the Nosferatu and Neutralizer, it's all PvP things. Tank's not really holding, it is slowly going down. Then if we can kill this one guy and nothing else spawns, then we should be able to get the other 2 as well. Really should bitmark a wreck so we can come back into Noctis. So we're pulling away from it still, so we're right at the very edge of our missile range just now. Right, let's hope that's enough to kill him. Oh, yeah, I was perhaps a little bit late with that. So last thing you want to do is to waste rapid heavies. I know I'm taking the time to reload between every target anyway, but no, I know. Just a little burst of speed. Hopefully the armor will last long enough to kill this guy. Right. Open fire. So if we, or when we get this mission again, I'll try it with cruise missiles and see if it makes a difference. I'm not enamoured of the fact that we're going to have to close range with this guy. But missiles just look so cool when you've got multiple flights in range and on the go at the same time. Problem, of course, with cruise missiles is that when you're firing at like 100 kilometers, you can easily have 4 or 5 volleys in the air at the same time. That's when you really do have to learn how many missiles it takes to kill something. Damn. I don't think we got away with that. Right, we should be able to tank 1 ship, but I'm not going to change to the ogres in case lots of stuff appears right here when he dies, because that would be bad. We might have to escape pretty quickly. And we are repairing 794 hit points every 12 seconds. Sounds impressive. On a cruiser that'd be awesome, but on a battleship it's pretty sad. Okay, one little burst of speed just to get ourselves into weapon range. And the other two MR battleships are the Apocalypse and the Abaddon. The Abaddon is pretty much a tanking specialist, and the other one is basically like a really big Omen. Both of them have terrible capacitor issues. Okay, we're in range at last. If we were a laser ship fighting EM and thermal at Serpentis, this mission would take forever. Absolutely forever. EM's pretty high, thermal's pretty high. Our capacitor is nowhere near good enough to do that anyway. Looks like he's actually pulling away from us, so our missiles may not hit. Yeah, we're slightly out of missile range. But we're tanking him, so we'll just approach him. Doesn't matter if he hits us each time. And he's back in range again. Yeah, he's trying to keep us at range. I'm assuming he's firing railguns. It's fine, we're faster than you, buddy. Strange, usually NPC like to get up close. This guy likes to stay at range. I don't really want to be travelling in that direction. Kinda want to be...
A module has run out of charges.
This way. Will the volley that's in the air kill him? No, not quite. Well, I hope the drones are good enough to kill him on their own. For the next 35 seconds, they're going to have to be. Hope he's not going to get back out of range again. I really didn't want to be moving in that direction in case lots of other things spawn. Right, let's try another 3 volleys. So there's 3 volleys in the air. First one's hit him, second one's about to hit, and the third one. Good guessing, well done. Phew. Bring the drones back, reload the missiles. Approach the warehouse. I'm still assuming that there's going to be a huge spawn of bad guys when we reach the warehouse. That's usually how this mission works. There's going to be more than just this. 5 cruisers, 5 battleships. It's going to be more than that. We'll reload. Save as much capacitor as we can. Only getting 24 missiles between reloads is not good. What I actually want to do is to fly past the warehouse and approach it from this side so we can line up with something to escape to if we have to. Don't want to open the warehouse here, grind to a halt, and then have to build up speed from 0 to escape. Probably we'll just warp out anyway, and then when we warp back in we'll be back over here and all the spawns will be here, so we'll be able to engage them at range. A little bit of forward planning goes a long way. Right, let's turn this off now, turn the tank back on. And stop the ship. It's the nearest thing to align to. Align to that. It's the problem with battleships, they're really, really slow. Our align time is 14.83 seconds. That's abysmal. Absolutely shocking. So hopefully, yeah, as we drift on by, we'll be within range to grab and then leg it. And loot all. Yep, there they are. Let's go. Warp
drive active.
Warp jamming frigates. Haha. Now we could just head back to the agent and hand it in, but I want to go and kill all these guys. That was a wise move. Because if we'd approached the warehouse on this side and then ground to a halt and tried to align, that would have given the warp jamming frigates at least 14.83 seconds to aggress us. Because they were right on top of us, they would have done that really quickly. Then they would have grabbed us and we wouldn't been able to warp out. And at these kind of short ranges, that could have got really ugly. Because I have broken rule 1. We've only got 28 million left in the bank. We can't afford to replace this ship, but we've still got the Stratios, so if anything does go wrong, we can just go and grind more risk in combat sites until we can afford another battleship. Right, let's just get back to the encounter.
Warp drive active.
See, this button won't let us warp back to the encounter. I have to do it through the right click menu now. But strictly speaking, we've completed this mission. So we're hoping to get some salvage and loot and bounty. This is not a blitz, this is a full clear situation. Okay, battle cruisers, they're the first to die, to me at least. Good, we're the opposite side from the frigates, which is exactly what we wanted. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Now, these battle cruisers should go down really quickly. Really, really quickly. Oh, here come the sensor damps. Can we target anything? No. Wow, okay. That's a lot of sensor damping. This could make life interesting. Please, please. Right, we're going to have to kill the sensor dampening things first. And these elite frigates are making me nervous of putting the drones out. Because they will aggress them and they'll web them. And then they'll kill them. And probably risk the lights because they're fast enough to come back. I'm hoping that after he goes down we'll be able to get enough damps off us good. Right, drones work on him. You kill the battlecruiser. Oh, they're still not chewed through our shield yet. The fact that they're yellow boxing makes me think that they're, yeah, you can see they're sensor damping the drones. So means we should really bring the drones back, because they've been aggressed by the little frigates. Good, now they're on us. That's what we want.
A module has run out of charges.
Oh, I know.
A module has run out of charges.
As soon as we put the drones out, one of them de-aggressed. Unbelievable. It's one of the few times I actually want them to get close enough to us to warp jam us, because then hopefully they'll be fixated on us and not on the drones. You can sometimes use the drone aggression mechanics to escape. If you carry some throwaway drones on board and you really have to escape, just put out any drones you have and hope that all the warp jammers change aggression onto your drones and let you escape. You'd rather replace drones than a whole battleship, I'm sure. Right, good. Let's kill this other thing. For elite frigates, they're moving very slowly. I mean, we're only going at 120. Well, we're going to have to approach the battleship at some point, so we might as well do it now. I'm just waiting for this one to go red. I also want them to come closer in case they do change aggro to our drones, so the drones won't be too far away that we can just bring them back. Good. We'll just reload. There's no point shooting these at them. The resistances are too high. Right, little drones. Kill the one that's aggressing. Keep a close eye on the drones. Be prepared to call them back. Because this is a drone bonus ship, they'll actually be doing quite a lot of damage. Okay, they both yellow boxed me, so they're not webbing or jamming us, they're trying to kill the drones. Again, these are faction drones, so they have really high hit points, and our ship bonuses is giving them even more hit points. If we get really, really good skills, we could even change up the rigs and put a drone durability rig and maybe a drone navigation computer here, which makes your drones fly faster. Because then we could be a bit more blasé about using them. As soon as he's down, we'll put out the ogres and just smash this guy. There we go. Go and kill him, guys. So these have got like 1,000 armor, which is pretty good, and 600 shield, not bad. Only go 1,300 meters a second, which is pretty pathetic. Little drones are nearly 4,000. Yeah, I think they'll kill them all on their own. Nice one, guys. Right, and that is the mission complete now. Excellent. many battleships is that? 6 battleships, 2 battle cruisers, lots of elite cruisers, and 2 elite frigates. Handled it quite well. Had to warp out once. Only because we had to get closer to the bad guys to get the rapid heavy missiles into range. If we'd been using crews, we could have just carried on what we were doing and aligning out and keeping them all at range when they were all missing us. So perhaps next time we do this mission, we'll do that. And we'll do the same trick with the warehouse. Just align to something in a straight line and grab it as we fly past and warp out and then warp back in and plink away with cruise missiles again. Still need the micro warp drive to approach the facility itself. Oh, we'll learn something, and that's never a bad day when you learn something. None of the drones got killed, which is also a bonus.
Warp drive.
Who's died
active.
here? Oh, some poor fool in an Algos has tried to attack the Lancers because they're red. Oh well. He's only 8 days old, he didn't know any better. How many missiles did we burn through? 700, I think. It's not great. Again, as skills improve, we'll use less missiles because we'll be dealing more damage per missile. Battleships warp really slowly as well. 3 AU a second. And the mission in. Complete. Thank you. Swap to the Noctis. And let's see how good this thing is. See how much loot we get.
Warp drive active.
What did targeting speed boosters on this? Simply because it's quite a big ship and wrecks are quite small, and when you get higher skill levels, it will salvage stuff really quickly, and you want to be able to target stuff again really quickly. Speaking of targeting, we've unlocked all the targeting skills. So if we take target management to 5 and advanced target management to 5, we'll have 11 targets maximum, which is great. Again, that'll take a while. It's probably when you go Omega, you get all excited and too many skills to train. That's about 600 million skill points in total to train in the game, I think. They keep adding more skills. We're at 3.5 mil, so quite a way to go yet. If you were just to rely on normal training speed, even if you maxed out your attributes with remaps, it would still take about 22.5 years to train all skills to 5. So if you want the good skills, you're going to have to spend the money on in injectors. In fact, you know what, we'll just go and salvage this guy's wreck. Here he is. This is the man himself. He's come back in his Punisher to loot his wreck. Poor guy. Oh, he can take the loot. I'm not interested in that. Hooray! Because it's a Noctis, it salvaged it really quick. Oh, look at that. We've got 250,000 because this guy's an idiot. Love it. Now, ideally, we wouldn't need a micro warp drive in this ship because you can extend the range. If you get maximum skills, the small tractor beam 1 will go all the way out to 96 kilometers, believe it or not. Now Tech 2 one, sorry. The Tech 2 will go to 96. And it will pull at like 1700 meters a second, so you
Warp
shouldn't
drive
have to move,
active.
really. What's the skill requirement for these? Science 5. That's fine. 4 days. If we're going to get into research and development, we're going to need Science 5 anyway. But R&D will be for a long way away. We need to get the support skills up. You switch to the Salvage tab. Here we are. Let's draw a big box. And target everything. Beautiful. And the idea with the Noctis is you put one salvager on each wreck and it should do them in a single cycle. Fingers crossed. One down. Two. Three. Yeah, not bad. A lot of people do 4 tractor beams and 4 salvagers, but when you get better skills, the 5 and 3 is actually better. Because as you can see already, we're struggling to drag stuff in fast enough to keep the salvagers supplied. This is with really bad skills in a 5 and 3 setup. Sometimes I've even been tempted to go 6 and 2. 6 tractor beams and 2 salvagers. So it's considerably faster than using the coercer because we don't have to move. Well, not yet. There is one wreck that's out of range. And I think we know who that was. Three. And that. Please be in range. Okay, it's only just out, but it's on the way to the other one. Oh, we'll let him off. Double click, open all the cargo cans. 76 thou, 64, 282, 43, 9, 27, 62, 2, 22, 52. Because we're pulling everything behind ourselves. 209 thou. Oops. 376. Bah, no loot in these guys. I'll get some salvage at least. And because they're battleships, it will be a decent amount of salvage. That didn't take too long, did it? That was good. Let's say missions like Gone Berserk, level 4, is fantastic. So you know, it's a turkey shoot. You just sit still and everything approaches you and you kill them, and every single ship drops something. Okay, let's see what we got.
Warp drive active.
3.6 million. Not the best, not the worst. Anything valuable? Yeah, quite a lot. Is there worth selling? That's worth selling. That's worth selling. That's a really good one, actually. And salvage is worth 2.4 million. Not bad. Anything that's not valuable or salvage will just get melted down. And at some point we'll buy some blueprints for ammunition and use the melted down stuff to build the ammunition. And then we can use our loyalty points to upgrade that ammunition to faction ammo and sell it. So a multi-stage value addition at every stage process. Okay, so valuable items into the loot and salvage box. All the salvage in the salvage box. Everything else just gets reprocessed. Great big pile of minerals. Lovely. Loot mining. Okay, so from that mission we got 3 million-isk in loot. And we got just under 500,000 in agent pay. And here's the two bounty prizes that we got. 3 million and 2.5, so just under 6. It's not bad. 6.5 plus 3. Not bad. 9.5 million in what, 40 minutes? I mean, it's not great because we've got terrible skills and because we were stopping to talk quite a bit. And that wasn't even one of the most difficult level 4 missions. I hope you enjoyed this quick look at level 4 missions. I'm sure the next few videos will just be this ship struggling to complete missions with terrible skills. Because the next skill we're doing is Missile Bombardment 4, just to add an extra 10% bonus onto the missile flight time to give them longer range. I don't know where we go from there. Cruise missiles or something else, but we'll work it out. And to get Omega, we knew that it was 1.3 billion or something we spent on it. Where is it? Yeah, 1.3 billion. Let's call it 1.4 divided by 30 days. Yeah, we need 46 million a day on average to maintain our Omega status. We just got 9 million from one mission in 40 minutes. It's not too bad. So a couple hours on level 4 missions a day should be enough, hopefully, to maintain Omega status. If not, we'll grab the Stratios and do some more combat anomalies. So I hope you enjoyed this quick look at level 4 missions. I'm sure the next few days it will just be nothing but level 4 missions. So come back for that, and until then, take good care of yourself and I'll see you soon.